everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a fantasy romance recommendations video. So I've been in a huge fantasy romance mood. I just have been really devouring a lot of amazing fantasy romances, and I wanted to recommend them to you. Now I have a list of like 8 to share and talk about. I cannot wait to talk about these books. All of them I've given like 4 or higher star ratings, and some of them are first in a series, some of them I have continued, some of them the books are not out yet. So when I talk about each book, I will give you all the information. Most of these are on Kindle Unlimited, so I will tell you which ones are available on Kindle Unlimited as well. But these are just some summer romantasy books that I've read that I've devoured, and I cannot wait to share them with you. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the first one is The Wolf King by Laura Palfrin. I think that's how you say her name. So I was able to listen to this audiobook before it actually came out through a program through Libro.fm, and this is a very interesting premise. I do have book 2 on my TBR. Now the ebook for these are available on Kindle Unlimited. I have heard that there is a third book. It is a trilogy, but that book is not out yet. I don't know if the author has a release date for book 3 yet. But The Wolf King basically opens up with our female character. You see that she is betrothed to this prince, and her father, who is a king, is sitting in their, I guess, throne room, I guess you can say, and there are these wolves that are battling to the death. And she is like, I need to stop this. This is like horrible. I cannot believe this is happening. Later that night, she is awoken by basically all the wolves escaping. The alpha wolf takes her and whisks her away to his lands. Like, she is English. The audiobook has her as like an English accent, and him, the wolf, has like a Scottish accent. And you see that when she gets up there, that he is one of like, I think the 8 alpha clans. So each clan has an alpha, and he is one of those. The whole book, they're talking about the Wolf King and how the Wolf King is coming and yada yada yada, and he is the one who's like in charge of all the other alphas, the clan alphas, I guess you can say. And I had a really great time with this book. I loved it. I have no idea where it's going. The ending was very wild. I think it is a love triangle. I could be totally wrong, but I had the best time with it. It was fast paced. Our female character was strong, but she is like naive in the way of things that she just doesn't know, and she's learning those things. I love the alpha, I forgot his name, but I love that we're following him, and I love how he kind of like takes care of her, where she's supposed to be this like bartering chip to get like what they want from the king, but he's like slowly falling for her. So anyway, I loved this book. I would highly recommend. Like I said, the second book is available in Kindle Unlimited. I want to read it as soon as possible, and then the third book, there's no set date, but there is a third book coming. The next one is Empire of Flame and Thorns by Marion Blackwood. So I love a good trials in a fantasy romance, but it has to be done in a unique way that feels fresh, it feels new, it doesn't feel redundant like I read it in any other fantasy romance before. And this one is actually very interesting. So the whole lore of the world is the dragons and the dragon shifters and dragon riders were imprisoned by the Fae thousands of years ago, right? Thousands of years ago, that's how it was. Now times have switched. The dragon shifters and dragon riders are kind of in charge of the Fae people. And you see our female character, she is at this like rebellion meeting. She's trying her hardest to like fit it in. She's trying her hardest to like climb the ranks and stuff like that. You see that she has a horrible kind of relationship with her parents, and she has this magic that's very interesting. It's like emotion kind of like manipulation magic, where she can like tap into any type of emotion that you're feeling. Like if you're feeling a little kernel of anger, she can like inflame that and make you be like very like enraged basically. And so that kind of magic is super powerful, and no one kind of trusts her because of that. It's all really well known, but you know when she's using the magic because her eyes glow. And I find it interesting because she decides to enter what they call these, I forgot what it's actually called, but every 150 years there are these games that happen where anyone can enter, and basically there are all these like obstacles that you have to pass, and then there is 3 winners. Basically it's survival of the fittest, and it's all types of things. Like literally this whole book was so fast paced. I was like literally devouring it in like 2 days. I wanted to just sit down and read this. This one is available on Kindle Unlimited. And I loved our female character, but the thing is, I think it's the hero. You see, he's part of the Black Dragon clans, and he's the leader of it. He's a very powerful he can kind of like have to shift, so he has his wings out most of the time, and is basically an expression of power. Not every dragon shifter can do that. So you see that he is doing everything that he possibly can to make her not win, like putting all these additional obstacles in front of her to make her not win. And you're trying to figure out why, what's happening. The ending was such a shock to me. I loved it so much. I'm currently in the middle of book 2. I'm like 30% into book 2 because I was like, I need to pick up the next book to see what happens, because it definitely ends on a big cliffhanger. I think the author said there's 5 books in this series. I could be wrong. Book 3 comes out August 30th, and I think book 4 comes out in November. So we don't have to wait too long for the rest of the books, but I really love this. I cannot wait to continue in this series. I think the writing was good. I love the magic. I love the world building, all of that. Highly recommend this one. The next book I have is The Scattered Bones by Nicole Scarano. This is one of the most romantic fantasy romances I read in a very long time. I loved it. It's less than 300 pages. It is in Kindle Unlimited. I loved this one so much. So this is basically our female character. You see, she is picking up the scattered bones of her lover across the lands. Like, she is traveling far and wide to collect every piece of her lover that she can, and you're trying to figure out why, you've tried to figure out what happened, and it is past to present, and I am someone who I don't always love past to present, but this worked so well because the past to present, you're learning little bitty pieces about their life together previously and what happened, and it was just so beautiful. I highlighted so much stuff. I read this in a reading vlog, and I was just blown away by the writing, so I don't want to say anything else because I feel like it would be like better to go in just knowing that. But I love this. Highly recommend this one. The next one I have is The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. So this is one of the only books that is not on Kindle Unlimited that I have to talk about, but I still would recommend this one because the magic system was really unique. I love elemental magic, and I feel like some romanticities, there's not a lot that do like true elemental magic. And you see the beginning of this book, our female character, she is literally about to be executed. She is half fae, and she has tried to stay like under the radar and stay hidden because in her lands, in the lands that they live in, that fae are executed upon discovery, basically, and they just want to rid the lands of all fae people, even half fae people. And you see that in this book. Commander Scythe comes in and is like, oh, you're really about to execute her, what's wrong with her, like, let me take a look at her. And he recognizes something about her. He doesn't know what it is. You see that he whisks her away to the Northern Lands, where a lot of secrets are uncovered. Like, so many secrets are uncovered about him, about her, about other people, things that she has been told her whole life is like basically a complete lie. And I really loved the setup for book 2. The romance in this book is really slow burn. So if you love a good slow burn romance in a fantasy romance, this is for you. It is very action packed. You're traveling a lot, but the world is not hard to comprehend. You pick it up pretty easily. I really enjoyed this one, and I cannot wait for book 2. I think she just announced the title for book 2, and I cannot wait. Now, the next one I have is a true favorite of mine that since I read it at the beginning of July, I have not stopped thinking about, and that is Terror at the Gates by Scarlett St. Clair. So I've been a Scarlett St. Clair fan for a while. I read her whole Hades and Persephone series, and while the beginning books were some of my favorites, some of the books are not like amazing. They were filler books, but the series overall I really loved. I think that she can write character development so well, and that's really why I love the Hades and Persephone series so much. So this is a start to a brand new series that she's doing. It's Book of Lilith, I think, or Lilith #1. I forgot the title of the series, but I went into this because I was able to get an e-arc from the publisher, so thank you, Bloom, for letting me read this early. I read this in a vlog, like I said, at the beginning of July. I cannot stop thinking about this. I originally rated it 4.5 stars because I was like, the beginning was a little slow. I was trying to piece things together, but I have sat on this book for about a month now, and it's a 5-star read. Like, it's a favorite of the year because I cannot stop thinking about the characters, our female character, our hero. I can't stop thinking about the ending, the twists, like everything like that. Now, this is more of an urban fantasy. This is one that I want more people to read. So like I said, it's urban fantasy. It is set with, you see there's different like territories in this one city, and each family has control over a certain territories. And you see Lilith, our female character. I just want to say her name is Lilith Leviathan, which is so powerful just by her name. And when I read her name, I was like, oh, this girl is going to be super powerful. You see that she does not want to get married. Her father is trying to pick a husband for her, and she's like, I don't want to just be another pawn to be used as like just my magic, be siphoned by my husband, because basically in this world women only have magic and their husband can siphon it and use it whenever they want. She's like, I don't want to get married. I don't like the religion. Like, there's a lot of talk about religion in this book, which I absolutely loved. But you see that she goes to a different territory, and you see that our hero is, oh my gosh, I think I'm pronouncing his name completely wrong, but Zarayev? I don't know if I'm saying it right. I just call him Z because I cannot pronounce his name. But basically you see that he has taken guardianship over her. Like, he promised her father, because they're kind of equals because he's head of his own territory, I will take care of her. I'll make sure she doesn't get in trouble. You see that she steals this dagger and she goes to resell it, and it basically kills the person that like is trying to resell it. And she's like, what the heck is happening? Like, she calls Z and is like, I don't know what's happening. Please help. So they have this very interesting dynamic, and I personally really love it. Like, he does not give in to his feelings. She obviously has a crush on him, and I feel like he has like a little something towards her. I feel like I'm not explaining this book very well, but the ending of this book was so shocking to me that I was like, holy shit, like, this is about to explode into so much more, and book 2 is going to be so freaking good, and I cannot wait. And I can't tell you the last time I read a fantasy romance, like, all of these books were really good, but I was very like involved and addicted to Lilith, to her story, what she's going through. They have some hard topics in this book, so I would make sure to check like the trigger warnings. She has them at the beginning of the book, but I loved this one. Like, absolutely loved this one. If you take any recommendation from this video, take Terror at the Gates. I do have a physical copy coming with like a pretty hardback stuff like that. I love this book. I love Scarlett St. Clair. I love what she did. I love the character growth of Lilith in this book. So yeah, just highly recommend this one. And the last one I have, I wasn't going to put in a video, but I'm doing a Kindle Unlimited romance reading vlog that's coming on Sunday for you guys. But I read Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophia Saint Germain. I'm already reading book 2 because I am addicted to the series. It is a very fun, very fast-paced series, and I just really love it. Once again, I love a good trials, but I love it in a more unique way, if that makes sense, like I've said at the beginning of this video. Now, this is very interesting because she is also half fae, and she is living amongst humans. You see that something happened 5 years ago, and over the course of the first book, you kind of like piece together what happened to her. You know, she's gone through something traumatic, but you see that she has a blood oath to the king, and basically she has to do whatever the king says because of that blood oath. And she has someone, Merrick, following her around. Merrick is another like half fae. He's a warrior. They call him the Death Whisperer. He is following her around and has to like check in with her every so often. Now, she has a very interesting mental magic, and she can basically manipulate someone to do with whatever they will. And she understands that it is so powerful. Like, she can make people forget about her. She can make them think that something happened even though they didn't. Like, she understands it's so powerful. But it also is hard when you have friends. If you use that magic on them, they will never trust you again, basically. So it is a very interesting premise. You see that the king comes to her and gives her this one last task, and she can have her freedom after that. She basically has to run for regent of the city that she lives in, and she has to be a spy to all the other people, specifically Locke, who is our current regent, and he wants her to spy on him, get all this information out of it. This is literally, once again, opens up a huge world. Specifically in book 2, I am currently reading book 2 for that reading vlog, and I am loving it so much. I think book 3 comes out in August or September. I forgot. I don't know how many books there are in the series, but the series is available on Kindle Unlimited. But I love it. I cannot wait to finish reading book 2 and dive into book 3 when it comes out. But I really love the world. And I would say this is like a fun fantasy romance to kind of end your summer, because it is summery in the way that like they go kind of in the sea for a little bit. They're on the sea for a little bit. They're on like a seaport. There's a lot of ports and they talk about that. So yeah, it was just really fun and I really enjoyed book 1. I think I gave it 4 stars, 4.5 stars. That one was really fun. But that is all the fantasy romances I have to talk about in this video. If you have any recommendations for me, leave them in the comments down below. I would love to add them to my TBR. If you made it this far and you want to let me know, leave me a skull emoji in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.